All right, welcome back to part 2 of the Fixxitt Realm tour, the name that I just came up with.
Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah, so we went back to Spawn. That Spawn town called Travail right over there, because I wanted to show this town. I forgot actually. I completely forgot to come up here. This is one of the newest towns, maybe the newest town actually. This town is called Tanis, and it is supposedly haunted. That's the idea. This, by the way, is our shulker texture, which I freaking love. It came straight from Conquest. Every shulker box is a different texture, but you know, similar crates of food. Whatever, a wardrobe, all that kind of stuff. So this was a vanilla town here, and I wanted to come in and save it because there's a mending villager here. It's the first and only one that we have found so far. So I wanted to save this town, but I wanted to figure out some lore behind it. So what we came up with is, I'll just show you around the town really quickly here. This is the haunted stables. I really had a good time doing that build. But what we came up with is that there is a cabin up on that hill. Now that entire hill is all man-made and hollow, and we're not to the point where we have it sort of set yet underneath. But if you take this path out of Tanis and you go up here, this is one of my more proud paths. I just think the atmosphere is really good. Like, it feels really immersive here. If you up here, this is actually where I decided on the path palette, because just to get this feeling like when you're walking through that, like, you're really on a dirty path. And I should say, if you didn't watch part 1, this is a custom compilation texture pack, and texture is taken from a whole bunch of my favorite textures. So Swan, I'm going to let you go in here first and take the lead, because there's a little surprise. Okay. Oh, this is a bed texture, by the way. That's a blue bed, I think. But with all the beds are different in this texture pack, and so that one can be used for foot tables and stuff like that. Anyway, Swan, go ahead. And so, do you see at the size of the cabin? This is an attempt at a dead tree that's pathetic. So it's a small little cabin. Go on in and see what you can find.
Okay, well, there's a lever.
Just ignore the lever. That's old. Just keep.
So that's just nothing.
Yeah, that. It was for building. Yeah. I should just get rid of it.
Second room. What the heck?
Right?
How'd you do that?
Are you blown
I'm
away?
actually confused.
Is your mind blown?
Yes. How is? Was that a command blocking thing again?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Oh, man. That was actually so flawless, I didn't realize.
Because it's in the same chunk. That's the secret. We're below it. We're like 50 blocks below the cabin. And so in this cabin, we're in don't look at that's nothing yet. We're in this area that's like it's a magical vortex. Like, here, come into this room. It's the same exact copy, except for it's the void. Is it completely black for you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's my texture pack. So black wool is absolute black. Yeah, so there's a bunch of copies of this room around, and one of them, we're going to have one that's going to be, it's not here yet, unfortunately, I haven't done it yet, but there's going to be like a parkour setup to go to the mending villager. That's going to be like, you're going to go through maybe the end, maybe the nether, all different rooms, all different themes. Like, here's another copy of the room, and just keeps on going. And to get out, so right now you can find how to get out really easily because there's building chests and stuff that help us find the door, but normally it's going to be really hard because there's going to be a whole bunch of copies of this exact room. And then to get back out, you just go right back out the door. Yeah?
That is a really good use of command blocks. Once again, that is like one of the things that I actually didn't think about that is actually very cool.
This has been a really, really fun build. And what is cool, there's a few other themed rooms in there. Like, there's a pumpkin farm out in the middle of the void, and there's some other stuff. So I'm going to try to make a whole bunch of like just cool rooms that are really going to make you feel like you're in a magical area. And then down underneath this, in this man-made tunnel, it's not done right now, but what's going to happen is we're going to turn this into an ice cave, an ice and snow cave. As if the magic from the shack up there is sucking out the heat from the world And so if you take a boat, if you're taking a boat along, you're going to go through this snow cave with ice crystals and all that kind of stuff that I think will be a super fun project. But we don't have ice yet, so we haven't done it. Again, if you didn't watch part 1, first, go watch part 1. Second, if you didn't, every single thing here is absolutely survival. Every single block, except for the command blocks, of course. So, and it's basically a team of 3 of us at this point who are building. And I should say, I'm open to taking on a new 2 or 3 people, perhaps. So hit me up on my Discord, just in case you want to come build. We're adult only, unfortunately, kids, 18 plus. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like if you want to come on, we do building teams basically until you sort of see the lore and figure it out. And there's a wiki and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Discord's the best place. Okay. Swan, what do you say we take a horse?
I say we should. That would actually be really, really cool to actually used.
I don't know if any of these are fast at all. What? Well, this is stupid. I swear I've taken them out of here before. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have all 3 of them.
You just didn't have one of the gates open.
All right.
You needed all 3.
I don't know. My horse is pretty slow, so anyone you pick, you'll have to probably wait for me.
Okay.
So where we're going to go is we're going to go to the second town we started. Now, a bunch of the stuff we've seen already was not what sort of came a little bit later. But we're going to go down to Kalahol, which is a town I generally let viewers or players on the realm name our towns. And Ulrich, who lives in South America, named Kalahol as a word that I swear that I cannot say. So I got close enough and he said that was fine.
Wait, did you go up on the bridge?
Yeah, I went across. Oh, sorry. You lost me. I went the whole way across, several bridges.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're headed south. The idea is, wait, I should show one more thing because this is lore. Leave the horse and let's just fly. Follow me. So this is really important or else I wouldn't go back. But so the idea is we're in the Third Age, which is a very common fantasy trope, I guess, but we're in the Third Age. And in the Second Age, there was a giant war between the zombie pigmen and people. That's the idea. So finally the people were losing the war. They were going to lose. So they sent in a bunch of soldiers into the Nether to break all of the portals and take the obsidian and throw it in lava, which basically sealed the zombie pigmen in the Nether for thousands of years, where everyone sort of forgot about it. And then what happened is the people of Travail were mining and they broke into this room, and not knowing what it was, they lit the portal. And when they lit this portal, zombie pigmen raged through, killed them all, came down in here, mined down, and you can go the whole way down and it's all worked out. There's lava and stuff, and found some obsidian. They mined up the obsidian, they took it back to the Nether, and basically once they did that, the war was renewed. So that's the lore of the whole world. So the world is at war. So we're going to have a lot of ruins, a lot of towns that are at war. Some towns are peaceful, some are at war, all that kind of stuff. But that's sort of the whole thinking behind the entire world, is it's just a world at war, So anyway, let's take the horses south, and I want to talk just for a second about atmosphere and what we're going for. One of the goals that I have for this world, first, every single town has to be connected by road. That's a rule, and you cannot travel through the Nether. So you're allowed to fly with an Elytra, but you can't travel through the Nether. So all of these areas here, I want, as you're going, this is one of the only unfinished bridges that we have currently, and I just haven't done right now. It's obviously just a placeholder. But as you're going, I want to have little hamlets. Hamlets are, just like 1 or 2 families alongside the road. I was actually just working on this little one yesterday, just trying to get like something. I want visual stuff, so you're walking along and there's a little farm. There's just one family that just farms, and maybe they have a specialty, maybe not, that kind of stuff. The roads need a little bit of work. But what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of this birch forest the entire way south, and we're going to plant crops and have all different farms and stuff, because this is a farming community. So this birch forest will be no longer once we get sort of the farms set up. Have you ever watched Artcraft, Swan?
I don't think I have. I don't remember ever hearing about or hearing that name. So
do yourself a favor and go on YouTube and search Artcraft. They're recreating to scale the Lord of the Rings world, And the atmosphere is unbelievable. It's what I watch a lot for, atmosphere. It's like, if I just want to, like, if I'm like, what kind of bridge should I put here? What kind of road, or what, how am I going to spice up? Not the buildings as much as the paths and their atmosphere. It really, you would swear that you're actually living in that world. It's really amazing. Like, here's a hamlet that's partially done. I just need to add a couple, like 1 or 2 houses here, that kind of stuff. But, we're almost to Kalau. I wasn't going to actually ride the whole way here, but we're actually pretty close. And the way this works, the geography of this works is, if you, at Kalau, there's a crossroads in the swamp. You can either turn west and go to the End Temple, which we already saw in part 1, or you can just go a little bit further to Kalau, which is probably our biggest town. It's an actual town. Let's see if we sleep. Not that we can get killed, but just so you can see a little bit better. Eventually. We do have the command block thing for 1-player sleep going, which was, boy, that was fun to set up. Am I still going south? Nope, wrong way. Sorry. That happens almost every time I stop along this road. Here's a brand new bridge. This has never been seen by viewers before. I tried to kind of ruin it, kind of mess it up. We were talking, was it? I don't know if it was on camera or if it was just me and Swan talking about doing a lived-in universe. And that's something that we're trying really hard. Like, nothing should be perfect. Everything should be sort of messed up. Like it's been, maybe like a house that's 300 years old and has been repaired a whole bunch of times. That's really important, I think, in a world. I think the first stage of playing Minecraft is you build everything perfect. Oh, there's an unfinished bridge. You build everything perfect, so it looks like a model, right? And then the second phase is then you start learning how to sort of mess it up so it looks like maybe people actually live there. Here's the newest thing I have been building. Here, like this thing right here is one thing that I'm really working on having more of. Like, this is just like a little campsite. I want to have a lot of this type of thing all along the road, so when you're walking, it's like, oh yeah, someone lived there. So this is Harrison's Garrison. My son's name is Harrison. So it's just like a little tiny fort. I don't know if you want to like fly up and take a look. It kind of looks better from the ground, but it's basically it's an excuse to get an elevation change in, because we have to get higher to get to the swamp over there. So I built this. Actually, you know what? Yeah, go spectator mode, and you can take a look at this. And what's really, really cool about this is if you head to the west just a little bit, depending on your render distance, you have a new computer. Your render distance is probably awesome. Mine, not so much. But if you go just a little bit, you'll see the End Temple. Or the End... yeah, I guess it's End Temple. And yeah, I freaking love that. I love that you can see one thing from another, even though we're using huge biomes. Yeah, and this is just like an old, sort of old castle that's maybe been repurposed as a garrison, or who knows what, but let's fly here. Just follow. Can you see me? Because I'm in spectator.
Yeah, I can see you.
Let's fly this way, because I want to enter Kalau from a different side, so we can enter through something that we call Howard's Tower. Howard's Tower. Howard T. Duck was playing on the Realm for quite some time, and then he sort of, as happens with people, they sort of get burnt out of Minecraft, and he moved on. But he had built a enormous square tower. So whenever it became apparent that we were moving on towards finishing this town, this is a logging site. Then I was like, what am I gonna do with this tower? So we have a sort of gentleman's rule. Game mode, creative. That once someone builds something, you have to keep it there. You can edit it, you can change it, but you can't just remove it. That's the rule, because again, we want this to be lived in, and that helps. It helps force you into being creative. So along this path was really fun to do too. This was such a blast. Got like a ruined house with trees coming up through it, and there's a villager here with a pretty decent trade, so I just stuck him in a house there. But this is Howard's Tower right here. This is a red terracotta, just in case you're wondering. all of the terracotta and concrete blocks are all different in this texture pack. They're not just like regular colors. They're like usable colors that actually work. So Howard's Tower, this was the lore of Kalahal is Howard's Tower was here, and then they basically they camped in it, and then they decided to found the town around it. So yeah, so we tried to build a ruined tower. And this is the town of Kalahal. It's fairly large. Yeah, man, I haven't been here in a while. So, the wiki will eventually have lore for every single, like literally every single, if there's a house, whoever lives in that house will have lore behind it. You know, that'll be the idea, like a little family story and sort of what they do and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's this sort of plus sign building is our storage room, and you can just take a look around if you want to. I'll give everyone a break from my voice. Ignore the end rods. Someone must be.
Is that the brewing stand texture?
What's that?
Oh, that looks cool. The brewing stand texture looks really cool.
Yeah, that was we found it online. I'm not sure where it came from actually. Yeah, so Wolfpack Flair, who's a YouTuber, built a few of these houses over here with his girlfriend, and he did some other work over around Howard's Tower. I built a lot of these houses. Ulrich built the enormous mansion that has a spruce roof over there. That's worth going in. Ulrich is the greatest interior person I've ever seen in Minecraft. I mean, even including like famous YouTubers. I mean, the dude's interiors are ridiculous. Nope, no rain. Weather clear. I should say, I'm sure I've said this on this video, but just in case I only said it in part 1, every single thing is survival. Every single block outside of the command blocks that we use to teleport and travel. Here, come look at this house, because I'm blown away by this. So another thing, because of the lore, because of we're at war with the Nether, you can't just have a Nether portal. So, like for example, the Nether portal this is the mayor's house. This garden. This was it's not great. It was a stab at doing a garden around a house. I'll get better, I promise. So in the basement of the mayor's house is where the Nether portal is.
Okay.
And it's all locked down because you don't want a zombie pigman invasion. So, for example, this is the sort of like lore that we have to have in here. So, if you want to go to the Nether, you can go in, but yeah, it's all boxed in here. For example, there's a button up top. Yeah, so that kind of stuff. But then I want you to take a look at Ulrich's interior. I've been in this house so many times, and I'm blown away by it. This is my style of interior, which is just not done. His is dramatically better. Here, come over here, and I'll let you narrate. Just go take a look at inside here.
Okay. Where's the entrance?
There's
assuming up here.
Go up there.
Okay. Wow. This is it's packed, but everything like actually looks like it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
There's actual couches here.
The dude is amazing. And like, you'll definitely get lost in the town or in this house. So when you get lost, you just have to go spectator mode to get your way out. Because I've gotten lost in this place so many times, and it just twists and turns, and there's different floors, and it's all mob proofed. It's just like it's like obnoxiously good. You know, I wish I could build like this. There's like a full stock like kitchen, and inside every chest you see is the thing that chest is supposed to hold too. He's even to that level. Yeah, it's really amazing. I'm not sure how to get down the basement. I actually lost, I think. I'm lost. Yeah. Yeah, I've been this house 1,000 times and I'm lost. Maybe it's down here.
So that's how the front it looks like.
Yeah, it's down here. Here's like a full another area, like a big dining area with a like workable kitchen, different levels. I mean, it's just amazing. Like even like the elevation changes are so good. Like I would never think to do that, but like why have this up a block? You know, I would never do that on my own. To just think to do that is it's really something that I would like to add to my own personal style. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This is definitely something to take inspiration from.
Yeah, I mean, I walk around it sometimes just to sort of get immersed, you know, just to sort of be like, wow, man, like this is like a living world, you know, feels like it anyway. So if you can figure out how to get out of there, I'll show you a couple of other things in the town.
All right. I actually just saw a door that leads me out. Okay.
So do you see the church? Okay, it's over here. This is the first church of the end that we built. And this is the only one so far that doesn't have a leap of faith to get to the end temple, because we built this before we had the end temple worked out. But eventually what we're going to do underneath this is have... So the idea is the Church of the End. This is the only church that we have so far. The other two religions are Church of the Nether, which are generally despised throughout the world, and a Church of Man that is like... It's like all like technological. There's going to be a giant steampunk kingdom eventually way out east, and that's going to be the Church of Man. So these guys eventually... But the Church of the End, they're like kings of subterfuge. So... they have like lots of secret, like little sneaky hidden panels and all that kind of stuff, and little redstone tips and stuff. And I'm not going to show you because if anyone gets the world download, I want them to try to find it. But there's some secret stuff in here. So I do a world download every 50 episodes, just in case you want it.
I gotta probably check that one out.
The last thing,
probably gonna download and figure out the redstone stuff.
The last thing to, well, I should say only a little bit of it's done so far. There's more coming though. The last thing in this town that I think is really cool is this. This is the medieval smelter furnace, industrial furnace sort of thing. None of it actually, this is just for show. The actual, auto smelter is just in here. The one that we actually use to smelt a bunch of stuff, and, nothing much to see there, but yeah. So that's Kalahol. Oh, I should say, okay, so remember the rule I said that if someone builds something, it has to say you just got to figure out how to utilize it. So a girl came on to the server named Fire Girl, and I don't think that she had watched any of the videos. She just kind of came on, and at that point, my well, I wasn't vetting people quite as hard as I do. So I'm not. Do you see the tower? Those flames are my favorite thing, maybe in the world. The idea is when the sun sets, that's when they celebrate. So that's to the west. So because Endermen come out at night, so they celebrate. So service starts when the sun goes in the first window, and then service ends when the sun goes in the second window, and that's when the Endermen come out. Anyway, so she came on, and I don't think she had seen the much of the world, and she just came on and said, "Hey, I built you something." And she built in this area an underground throne. She said, "Hey, I built you a throne underground," and I was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do with this?" Because like that doesn't. I'm not a character, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we did is we made up some lore. We said, okay, so the mayor of this town is named Mayor Jancy. And basically once you're elected mayor, you either die in office, or if people rise up against, if people aren't satisfied, then they actually kill you. That's the lore of this town. So all the mayors who didn't die of old age in office were executed by, unsatisfied constituents. And they are buried in this burial mound. Do you see where I am?
I have no idea where you went.
Stop. I'm right behind you.
There we go. Okay. Over here.
So she built this throne underground.
Oh, that.
So I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to work this into the lore? So what I did is I built a burial mound, and this is where the former mayors of this town are buried. And we just did some work because we didn't want to eliminate it, but we just wanted to edit it and make it look like. So these are the former mayors of Kalahol. That's the idea. because they're revered, even though they were forcefully removed from office, to put it mildly. But, that's lore-based building is my favorite kind of building. Like, why would this be there? Let's figure it out and do that. So, yeah, anyway, that's Kalahal. Okay, everyone, so this episode spiraled out of control time-wise, so I'm going to break this up into 3 parts. So thank you so much for watching part 2. Please check out Swan's channel. He does great stuff. He's a super guy, and he sure has helped me out a lot in starting Villagecraft too. So please check out his channel. It's good stuff. And maybe we can all work together and encourage him to do a little series here on the Realm. How fun would that be? Very fun. That's how much fun. All right. I will see you guys in part 3 in 2 days. Again, Realms videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the plan anyway, unless it doesn't happen. All right. Bye.